But he says the main problem of the alcoholic sin is in his mind rather than his body. Although we need to know this, the main problem is in our mind. The main problem is, what makes me take the first drink? Why then do I take the first drink? You know, he explains it, over here, and to illustrate it, everybody has a very complex emotional life. We're going to be doing all our work in here. This is what we're going to recover from. We all have feelings. They're God-given things, and we're not going to get rid of them. They're supposed to be in life. We have loneliness, we have fear, we have resentment, we have all this. There's anxieties. These are part of our human makeup. All people have problems with these. Now, we're not the only people on earth that have problems with their emotions. No one is free from this. They might look, like a great friend of ours, he always said, we always go around comparing my insides with your outsides. He looks good outside, but they got them too. Now, they are the root of all human problems, and we see all sort of behavior problems in people as a result of these misdirected instincts. But we alcoholics, somewhere in the development of the alcoholic in his past life, he has these little emotional buildups. Dr. Silkworth describes this as we're restless, irritable, and discontent. I had these all my life. All it was natural to me. I didn't know I was sick. I was just naturally sick, I was always like this, Never really, I had some comfortable moments, but never really satisfied with me. Comparing myself with other people. Didn't fit in. These things just went with me constantly. And it was a problem. Other people, some people commit suicide. Some people have nervous breakdowns. You don't ever see an alcoholic he breaks down drunk. He knows. He finds another release for this. Somewhere along the line, while having one of these emotional buildups, while having one of these problems, he has the opportunity to drink. All right, it's a drinking occasion. And he noticed, while having a few drinks, that these few drinks depress his emotional level. And when I took a few drinks, he associated these two things together. I can go out and talk to people. It depressed my fears. I don't feel inadequate anymore. I'm a good dancer. Golly, boy, I can dance now. I can talk to people. These few drinks become a solution. Now we have the combination, the problem, and the solution. We've lived with this little old problem, and now, I don't have to do that no more. I have an answer to it. And we add these two things together. Put the big plus in there. And we add certain moods with the chemicals. And we come in our heads with addiction. Addiction means to add together certain moods with the chemical. And we find our answer. We said it's the only problem in which the answer becomes the problem. The answer becomes the problem. And he says we build up to this point again. We become restless, irritable, and discontent. We build up to this point again. And it triggers this line. And this line is an obsession. An obsession is an idea that overcomes all other ideas. That's a powerful thing. This idea will overcome many, many other ideas. It was my wife's idea that I shouldn't drink. My boss's idea that I shouldn't drink. The police suggested it a couple of times. And a couple of judges, very influential people. The doctor, he knew medicine. And even at certain times, I myself said, you can't drink. No more for the rest of your life. But at a certain given moment, when I became restless, nervous, and discontent, within me the idea to drink came up. And this idea to drink overcame my own idea, the doctor's idea, the judge's idea, and the police's idea. It was so strong it overcome mine and everybody else's idea, and I took a drink. So when we build up there, we have no defense over this once this obsession is triggered. And the obsession, the idea to drink, and then we said all action is born in thought. And when you take a drink, it's preceded by the thought to drink. It has to be triggered in the mind, and all action is triggered in the mind. And we reach over and we take a few drinks. And that's the triggering mechanism of the whole illness. And this is where we're going to do all the work. Now, once we put the alcohol in the system, then quite naturally it goes over and sets off the physical craving. The mind triggers the body, and the craving is, the acetones are manufactured. The craving is started, and craving makes the first drink, and the second drink, and the third drink, and the fourth drink. We play that off game. We go through the well-known spree, and down here at the bottom, when we come up for air, we repeat our alcoholic national anthem. I will never do that again. We all say that, and we really mean it. Some people don't believe we mean it, but we mean it. But if you were sick as we were, we really mean it. And we slowly start another build-up, you know. We're still restless. We're still irritable. We're still discontent. We're still lonely. We still feel like we don't fit in. So we'll say, boy, after I got in trouble, I'll never do that again. But we go along for a few days, and it gets worse. And finally, we build up, and our mind says, take a drink. And we take a drink to feel better. We reach over here to take the few drinks. The few drinks do depress this. It does the job, son. It still makes us feel better, but it sets this thing off again. We feel better when we take the drink, yeah. But it sets off this circus in our life again. We go through the well-known spree, and the doctor said this is repeated over and over again, this vicious cycle. And it kind of gets smaller each time as the years go by. The trap gets smaller and smaller. The mind is triggering the body, because the more the mind makes you take the first drink, the chemical deficiency gets worse over the years. The craving gets harder, and as the craving gets harder, the drinking gets harder. As the drinking gets harder, then more emotional problems we got to take a drink to get over what we did over here. It's really, it's like a tennis ball. It's like a tennis ball in a tennis match. Boom, 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 boom. And there's the alcoholic in the middle, When he settles down, somebody knocks him back over on the other side. And he says, I'm going to quit. So if we can't drink because of the body and can't quit because of the mind, and as long as we're playing this game, we can't quit taking the first drink. And if we can't drink because of the body and can't quit because of the mind, then the conclusion is simple. We are powerless over alcohol. If you can't drink and you can't quit, you're powerless. This is the first step. The first step in recovery is to see the trap we're in. This is it. It's been said many, many years ago, the solution is simple once we understand the problem. Once we understand the problem. And this it was, for many years I didn't understand this in my life. And thank God for Dr. Silkworth. He gave it to Bill, and Bill gave it to the first 100 to give it to other people. They put it in front of Big Book Alcoholics Anonymous, and today 1.5 million people, alcoholics, have been able to understand their problem. This is the foundation of their recovery. Now, for many, many years, I couldn't understand. I see why I failed. I tried to control my drinking while drinking. I don't know if any of y'all did that. I was going to say just 3 and just 2 and just 4, and I tried to count them, and I never was successful at that because of craving. I realized today the craving got me. I didn't know what I was doing. You know, I mean, just like a lot of people, you know, trying to treat themselves. And so for about, you know, a number of years, I said, well, after of doing this constantly, I finally come to the conclusion after about 12, 13 years. I said, I don't believe you can drink. After all this trouble, you know, I said, you know, 1,000 people said it. Finally, I said, you know, I don't believe you can drink. Every alcoholic's been there. So I said, well, just quit. Oh, yeah, that's obvious. That's the problem. If drinking is all it is, just quit. Okay. So I quit and just quit. Didn't do anything about my life. See, I didn't understand this part. Ain't got nothing wrong with me. Just quit drinking. So I was still restless and ill and discontent. These pressures were built up on me, and I went for 9 months without taking that first drink. And I did did all the routines, you know, eat sweet, stay busy, and don't go to them places, and just be bored like hell, you know. Everybody around you nervous, you nervous, and the rest of them tipping, you know, around you and everything. And boy, it was tough. But I just quit. And I would build up, the obsession to drink would come at me constantly. But when the alcoholic decides to do this, he gets his number one weapon out. And when he means business, he messes around for a while, but finally he says, I'm through. And he means it. So he gets his number one weapon out. He gets old Will. And he gets Will out, he means business. So I put old Will up there and I blocked him off for 9 months. And finally one morning my mind said, oh, it's all right. Willpower went out the window. And that little devil got through it. I took the drink and I was gone again. So once Dr. Silkworth give us this, what is the problem? You know, another great physician, psychiatrist Dr. Carl Jung, said, I believe that the solution is in a vital spiritual experience. I believe this can produce personality changes sufficient to recover. He said, I believe this is the solution to alcoholism. I believe if people could make some personality changes and adjustments, if they could live below that line, then they could live below that line. Then they would never have the obsession to drink. If they never have the obsession to drink, they would never take the first few drinks. And if they never took the first few drinks, they would never set off the craving of the body. This, we believe, is a solution to alcoholism. Some personality changes. Came to believe that a power greater than ourselves can restore us to sanity. You know, where we can make sane decisions about alcohol. So next week we'll go into the second step, the solution, and how to, and identifies that solution just as it lays out. Now that it is diagnosed a problem, then next week is going to write the prescription on what is the solution to the problem.